from the DA National Livestock Program. Siya po ay magbibigay sa atin ng kanyang kaalaman. Palakpakan po natin, Dr. Ruth Miclat-Sonaco.
Maraming salamat po sa ating mga MC. And magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. It's a very rare opportunity for us to be presenting to you kasi po kanina when I arrived, I was looking for Mr. Edwin Chen, yung pong kaibigan natin na nag-invite sa atin dito sa inyong first annual general membership meeting. And then, pero sinalubong po ako kanina ni President, and he was telling me na yung daw pong grupo is a group of people na the conviction is towards sustainable agriculture, but more than that, yung conviction to be developing communities of people na merong takot sa Diyos and pananaw na the soil is also God's gift to all of us. Thank you po. Now, and also I was briefed po na I have to give a few 15-minute talk on investment opportunities natin sa livestock, poultry, and dairy. So wag po kayong mabobore sa aking lecture kasi mamaya daw po sabi ng President ng PCU natin, mamimigay na ano nga sir, ipamimigay pa po natin, no? A 10-day trip to Coron Natural Farm. Joke lang po. Walang sinabi si President. Pero ano po, I was surprised kanina dun nga sa nile-lecture ni Sir. Kasi Sir, from Agricultural Training Institute din po ako, yung International Training Center on Pig Husbandry. And kanina pala, yung pong ating taga Misamis Oriental, ATI Learning Site din po. I'm very proud na taga ATI is part of your journey towards this sustainable agriculture. Hindi po ako masyadong high-tech eh. Pero igaganon ko lang po ba ito, sir? Okay na. Yun. So, investment opportunities on livestock. Again po, ako po si Ruth Miclat-Sonaco, isang veterinaryo by profession, and ako po ang kasalukuyang program director ng National Livestock Program ng Department of Agriculture. One of the banner programs po ng ating Department of Agriculture. Sino po ba ang naiinis sa inyo sa DA dahil sa importation? Wala. Wala daw, Pastor. So, kasi otherwise po siguro hindi ako invite ni Sir Edwin. Ano po? So, kasi otherwise babatuhin niyo ako ng kamatis. So, just a few introduction about livestock, dairy, and poultry industry. Next slide, please. So, sabi natin, we have this livestock revolution for quite a time. So, ano ba tong mga livestock revolution na ito na sinasabi natin? One, nandyan po yung, of course, we all know yung growing demand for livestock. And then also, we have this yung continuing intensification and industrialization. No, we cannot deny those facts. And also, given this intensification and industrialization, we see this really trending towards globalization, which makes livestock industry all the more na mas mas maging yung mga inputs, it becomes also globally distributed. Now also, with the livestock, poultry and dairy sector, we have this manipulation, di ba po, no? Ang mga pigs, normally what is the natural environment? Nakakagala lang po sila. But what do? We confine them. So, and then we provide them the feeds and then everything there, climate controlled. So our penchant for manipulating things is always playing a very vital role as far as livestock production is concerned. Now also, we say that, next slide please, that also part of this livestock revolution, next slide please, the introduction of modern techniques. I don't know po kung familiar kayo sa artificial insemination, but I see na marami po sa inyo dito is also involved in agriculture. So with these trends and livestock in livestock revolution, the very first thing that we say na kasama dyan would be yung artificial insemination. Meron din po sa tao noon, no? The in vitro fertilization. Now also in animals, it's very, very, yan po yung ano, it's one thing that we advocate for us to lessen the disease transmission. Now, part of this, of course, is the global availability of genetic material. So how? Through yung pong processed semen. So the processed semen, hindi po mahalay. Ang sinasabi ko, ano mga sir, mga ma'am? Pero yung pong processed semen, like a champion bull from Australia can come in the Philippines. Not necessarily the bull, pero yung kanyang genetic material, which usually is the processed semen. Usually po, frozen yon. Padadala dito sa Pilipinas, and therefore, meron tayong napakagandang genetic material on this one. So in globalization, again, this brings us to the fore. And then also, nevertheless, despite all this, we say livestock revolution, meron pa rin po tayong mga extensive grazing activities. Especially sa mga, like we talk of Batanes, usually, di ba no, nasa pasture po sila. Then we talk of Africa, still pasture pa rin po yung mga livestock production natin doon. But number 9, I think is very, very important, this trend towards niche market. Po ba no? Kanina si Sir, yung kanyang mga gulay, puro mga, sabi ko nga, pang social na gulay, yung mga tinatanim ni Sir, yung mga pinoproduce niya. Kita ko yung arugula kanina, Sir. I don't eat that arugula, masyadong mapait. Sabi ko, it's not really for my taste. Nevertheless, it's a very good, sir, no, for health. Now, also in livestock, we say that niche markets and specialty markets, especially po yung mga processed products na. I remember in Taiwan, tayo, di po ba, no, yung pata, we only do, anong tawag nga doon, yung piniprito, anong tawag nga, crispy pata. Now, in Taiwan, mas ano pa sila, they do more value adding, aside from crispy pata, ipinoprocess pa nila, ang ganda-ganda, meron pang mga ham sa loob, and then they send it to Germany. Kasi yun lang daw ang market nila for that kind of product. Now, what I'm saying is, while we have that in crops, sa livestock, dairy, and poultry industries po, we also have this kinds of niche market. Po ba yung mga keso, the cheeses that we have, it's also very, very expensive. Now, given this, we also say that approximately 70% of all agricultural land, globally po, is being used in livestock. So globally, we say 70%. Yun, nasa livestock. Chicken, pork, but most especially yung pong ating mga cattle, beef and dairy, and yung sheep and goat. And we also say that 35% of the total world cereal use is fed to livestock. Pwede po ba, no? Yung ating mga vegans, they are saying, to feed the world, you should stop eating meat. Kasi merong direct competition daw with kasi imagine 35% of cereals we give it to livestock. But more than that, we also say that 90% of the global production ng soybean, it also goes to livestock. So, kung tayong kumain ng meat, hindi naman pwede, no? Sarap kaya ng crispy pata. Sarap din ng fried chicken, di ba? At saka saan tayo kukuha ng milk? Saan tayo kukuha ng ating mga cheese, which is also somehow a staple food of us. So, given all this po as a background, I'd like to show you yung a graph. Mamiya, please. Yan, sabi po, the demand ng livestock, projection lang po ito, which for us, as livestock people, we also say an opportunity to grow. So, yan po, 2010, 2020, and then 2030 up to 2050. Now, if you can see po, the upper portion, am I going, so yan po. If we can see, the change in the demand, nandito po sa last column siya. And on a global scale, we see that poultry has the highest percentage change in terms of demand. So it is at 225%. Na po, yung poultry. Now, on a more lower scale, yung pong sa atin, sa mga developing countries, which includes the Philippines, it's the same trend din po. Poultry has the highest increase in demand. Nag-double po siya talaga. What we're saying is that sa poultry, talagang we have this opportunity na mag-invest pa. Now, the next slide, pakita ko lang po sa inyo. This is the comparative investment portfolio that we are talking. Let me bore you with the figures. Ano po? Now, iba-iba pong commodity. That's what we're saying. We have pecking white, yung pong pecking duck na sinasabi natin. And then we also have the duck. Now, hindi po ito yung native duck, pero the Department of Agriculture, together with the Department of Science and Technology, we were able to develop, ang tawag po natin, itik pinas. So it is able to lay eggs around 80% po in 1 year. So yan po yung sinasabi nating duck layer kasi they're more on sa itlog po, pero multi-purpose sila. Now we also have chicken layer, chicken broiler, dairy cattle, beef cattle, and then finisher swine. When we say finisher swine, yan lang po yung pinalalaki, yung mga baboy. You don't have any inahin. Wala po kayong breeders. So that's next. Ang tawag po natin doon is farrow to finish. Now also, I would like to introduce as a very good investment somehow for you and sa mga members po. We call it dairy box. Mamaya po, ipakikita din natin siya. And of course, yung silage production, which is of course yung pong pagkain ng ating mga ruminants. Now, again, if you can see, saan po ba ang pinakamagandang ROI o yung ating return on investment? Again, nandun po siya sa poultry. Makita nyo po, with pecking white, it's 272.9 yung ating ROI. With duck, it's 132. And then with layers, it's 233. But ang lowest ROI po natin would be on beef cattle. Kasi po, we grow our beef cattle for around 3-5 years. Kaya the return on investment is medyo mabagal. But layers, syempre, araw-araw po nangingitlog. So kaya mataas din ang kanyang return on investment. Now the last column, yung feed cost, again, kanina po I heard si Sir na nag-discuss din, one of the previous speakers, he was talking about feeds, no? Which is true. Nowadays po kasi, especially this later part of the year, the livestock, dairy, and poultry industry is really being, the production itself is being hampered by the very, very expensive cost of production, particularly sa feeds. Now, while the ROI on chicken, on poultry is very good, we also say that it also entails one of the highest feed cost. So what I'm saying is, for chicken, layers, and duck, 92-93% of your production cost would be for feeds. Kasi po, ang kinakain nila commercial feeds. No? Kaya, balik tayo dun sa dinidiscuss kanina ni Sir na sila, they don't feed. Wala silang pinapakain, but everything comes from what they generate from the farm. Nevertheless, ito po, mga intensive farming systems po itong sinasabi natin. Now, yung pong, if I would want to focus your attention on, ito po yung swine, kasi po kung familiar kayo sa ating African swine fever problem, kaya po konti ang ano natin ngayon ang pork supply natin because of that problems which we had 3 years ago. Now, for finisher swine, kung titingnan po natin, the capital investment, maliit lang po, 465,000. You can put up a 50 head capacity building for 465, kasama po yung mga equipment. On the other hand, yun pong ating production cost, which is 1.3 million. So medyo malaki po yung OPEX, yung operation costs natin sa swine. Nevertheless, kung titingnan din naman po natin, this is the profit. If we grow 50 heads, this is the profit for one cycle. So ano po siya ngayon? It's a very good business proposition as of the moment because of the very low inventory natin and the very high price of pork. Kaya if you ask me po, you cannot go wrong as of today for the next 2-3 years. If you keep baboy, you can never go wrong with your returns, with your profit. So yan po. I have a very detailed computation po nito. If some of you would be interested, we can send you the email. Pero I will not show na po the different computation, like how much is the capital investment, operations, blah, blah, blah. Para lang po we can, kasi po, these are all numbers. Pero I can, if you are interested, pwede po namin ibigay sa inyo. Now, skip na natin siya, Mamiya. Now of course, yung pong pinakita ko would be investment coming from your side. Nevertheless, the government, yes, meron naman din pong government interventions tayong ginagawa. So we may help, especially yung pong ating small and medium scale entrepreneurs. Now, what are these po? So we have different modules. Next slide, Mamiya. Yan, ayaw nang umandar. Next slide. So, one po na we are saying, again, kanina binanggit ko about our problem on the pork industry wherein kulang na kulang po ang ating production. Now, as far as the government po is concerned, we have this integrated national swine production initiatives for recovery and expansion. Now, this is our repopulation program for the swine industry. For this year, we have a 4.1 billion government investment po on this one. Now, it has 4 components, yung pong calibrated repopulation, then also the establishment of swine multiplier farms, and of course, yung ating enhanced insurance program. So, we are encouraging all our livestock farmers na magpa-insure po ng kanilang animals such that para pag namatay somehow, hindi mo lang ililibing yung animal mo, pero you can also get something back. Parang sa tao din po. So now it is available as well for the livestock sector. Now the last one is facilitating access to credit and other loan programs. As of the moment po, our Land Bank of the Philippines providing, ang interest po nila is 3 to 5% maximum, payable in 7 years. Kasi po yung 2 years is sa kanilang grace period. 30 billion credit window. ng Land Bank of the Philippines for our swine repopulation. So malaking ano po siya, credit window from the Land Bank of the Philippines. Now, another thing is credit window from Development Bank of the Philippines, 12 billion. Now, for the DBP, they cater more on the bigger scale farming, especially swine. 12 billion ang kanila pong credit window. Now, for Land Bank, hanggang 2026 lang po yung kanilang credit window na to. Kasi po yun ang timeline din natin for our Inspire program. So, ayun po, no? It's a very, the credit facility that we have now, especially for the swine repopulation program, I would say it's very, sabi nga, loan concessions po ba ang tawag nila doon kasi it has a very low interest rate and at the same time, matagal yung payback. Yung pagbayad mo is not, matagal po siya. Then 2 years ang kanilang, anong tawag po doon? Moratorium? O yung hindi ka muna magbabayad pagka-loan mo. Now, another program would be, so yan po, this is very specific for the swine industry. Now, another thing, we also have yung pong, we call it the Livestock Enterprise Economic Development Program. Now, again, the Department of Agriculture is providing livestock and multiplier farms. What are the components of this? So we give the animals, so nandyan po siya, cattle, poultry, rabbit, and small ruminants module. Now, the grant po, this is grant, kaya lang po, we don't give it to individual persons. Lagi po siyang tawag natin, FCAs, yung ating mga farmers, cooperatives, and associations. Or mga hog raisers group, animal raisers group. Now, the grant ranges from 1.5 million to 3 million pesos. Ibibigay po yun sa inyo. Or, you may want us, kami po ang bibili ng animals and then you would grow. Kayong magpapagawa ng mga bahay. Kasi po, included in this module, again, would be the animals, sabi ko nga, housing, feeds, drugs, and biologics. Now, also under this program, we also provide yung po mga small machineries. No, next slide. So yan po, feed mill, a complete set of feed mill. Pwede rin po, you can avail from us. Mga lab equipment, incubators for the eggs, and then also choppers, pang-chop-chop po ng mga feeds for the ruminants. So, and also, next slide, Mamiya, for specifically for our dairy industry. Now, why did I include this one? Kasi po, we are encouraging dairy farmers to expand. Why? Because we have a very good market for our milk. There is a multi-billion budget for the milk feeding program of the Department of Social Welfare and Development at saka po DepEd. Kasama po yun. Yung ating mga grade school students, para pong yung nung unang panahon, tatandaan ko po when I was in elementary school, in elementary grades, we are being provided with milk at saka Nutriban. Tatandaan ko siya. Now, we are doing this again. Pero this time, 90% of the milk supply, yung milk na ibibigay natin sa ating mga bata, will be coming from local produce. So, hindi po imported. Kaya po, we are saying na this is a very opportune time for our dairy farmers to expand. Kasi meron po tayong ready market. And this will, it is a law, batas po siya, and it will run for, Mamiya, ilang years? 10 years. It will run for 10 years, yung ano natin na to. So, it's a very good opportunity. Mamiya, next. So, yun na pala ang aking last slide. So, yun lang po. And thank you very much, and I wish I provided you an overview of the various investment opportunities that we can have for the livestock, dairy, and poultry sector. And again po, lagi ko nga sinasabi, pumasok po tayo sa industriya ng kahayupan. Para sama-sama po tayo na sa industriya na to. So muli po, maraming salamat on behalf of the Department of Agriculture. Mabuhay po kayo.